switch subjects for a quick second. You've got a question from...
Okay.
Yeah, one question. This thing on the TSCC, is that, do we have to do anything with this? Are they coming at a meeting?
Now, just an information, we will actually, for the first time, pay some money for that, but we are still subject to TSCC, which we've always liked, and we think that's not a bad structure.
I just wanted to...
Others have complained. We have not. We like the SEC. I might just mention two quick things as you are about ready to leave. One is that I just returned last night from Washington, D.C., and I give you just a quick report on kind of some of the things that are going on. One is, and although it seems kind of far away, the issue of the transportation bill expires on September 30th. This is a 6-year bill, the authorization, all that, and there's quite a bit of wrangling around that. The House is scheduled to take up a 3-month extension today. The Senate has demanded to have 18 months, and that we will watch that process play out. Very short extensions are troubling to us because it just means a lot of extra work to be able to have 3/100ths of a percent per month kind of being allocated under such and such. And I mean exaggerating here a bit, but it is awkward to be able to plan for the future and to be able to have grants and other things proceed. But that is being thought out. Obviously, the issue is, can short extensions pressure in this case, the House trying to pressure the Senate to be able to get to a new authorization bill, a new 6-year bill. But that's something that's being worked through. One of Oregon Congressman Peter DeFazio is right in the thick of that because he is the chair of the subcommittee on highways and transit. Yesterday, when we were in the Capitol, just by chance bumped into Jim Oberstar, who's the chair of that committee and is very strong on the 3-month extension. But that has yet to play out. Secondly, I ended up meeting with some of the other key players on transit, and it was just, I shared this with you because it was nice to be able to hear the strength of both the knowledge about and the strength of the support for the kinds of things we're doing. First was with Shelley Petichka, who is the new senior advisor to Ron Sims. He is the former county exec from King County, the Seattle region, but is the deputy secretary at the Department of Housing and Urban Development. And this administration is really trying to say, hold on, we got to connect the environment, EPA, HUD, housing, and transportation in a much more integrated sort of way. And Shelley is has been recruited to be able to do that. She comes from Reconnecting America and is a very strong advocate, and so it was very good to be able to see her. She's a good friend as well. It was nice to be able to reestablish. We then ended up visiting with Roy Kienitz, who is the Undersecretary for Policy at the Department of Transportation, kind of the number 2 person, but on the policy side there. As well as Polly Trottenberg, who is the Assistant Secretary for that policy area as well. They, again, both really strong on what is happening in Portland. They're very seeing us as a model and how can they, in fact, replicate what they have we have here across the rest of the country. How can we become that laboratory? So it was very good to be able to see them as well. And then lastly, we met with Adolfo Corrine, who is a senior advisor to the president. Actually, we met in the West Wing, and he is there for this really coordinated effort. And again, wanting to be able to have a chance to come to Portland. He has not been here before, asked me to extend an invitation to he and others. So hopefully that will come sometime here in the next 4 or 5 months. And of course, we'll involve you in it. But it's a chance to be able to have, again, conversations with, in this case, one of the most senior people in the White House in charge of this area, and really about how can we pull these threads together. And he, even by reputation, knows what a role we've been able to play in really being a model for that. So it was just nice to be able to see that and to be able to make the pitches we did for the things that we care about. So, very good.
Glenn? Yeah, just a comment just to add to that. We're also, working on the transportation bill in D.C. for it, and it is tough. And we're losing sight, I think, and just a comment on it, on the infrastructure of the country, and especially right here in the metro area. There's some negativism coming on the Columbia River crossing now. But I don't know if the public's got to know. No, the public's got to know. This is about jobs. If we can't move the products out of this area efficiently and quickly, the manufacturers aren't coming. People aren't going to want to come to the metro Portland area or to Oregon. So this transportation bill is kind of taking a sideline because the healthcare's got the attention of everybody in the country right now. But more important to healthcare than anything else right now is jobs. And I think we're not pushing it hard enough. Maybe even we at TriMet got to push it harder, but I know we're trying all we can to say it's jobs. Jobs is what funds the payroll, funds TriMet. The payroll is what pays for this whole community here. And with that said, these unemployment rates are horrible. But we got to get that transportation bill through. That is vitally important to the existence of our economy right here in the Portland area, Oregon area. Thank you.
I think that's a good point, Lynn, and I feel confident that Fred is doing all that he can in carrying that message.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
All on you, Ben.
The advantage of actually flying the flight I did to D.C. on Monday morning is that I got to spend the ears of Senator Merkley, David Wu, Congressman Wu, and Congressman Walden. Actually, it was kind of fun to be able to see Darlene Cooley was there on that plane as well. But that's one of the things that is almost as good as being able to see them in Washington is that you get on the right flights and you get most of the delegation there as well. One last comment, and it's a sad note. I think many of you know that Olivia Clark was leaving right after the Green Line opening to go down to Medford to begin the Bike Oregon. She took a very bad spill on Tuesday afternoon. Was in the hospital in Grants Pass for about 3 days with a serious concussion and lots of abrasions. She is, I know she was home yet. She was scheduled to come back yesterday. Did actually, she did. She was coming back home yesterday, but will be a little slow on the mend. So obviously our hearts go out to both she and Dennis, and we've been in a lot of communication with them, but it was a tough event. So.
Well, thank you, Fred. I think we're adjourned.